How to prepare for SLAT 2021 in 1 month. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about the pattern of the exam that has changed. It is a little change, but we're going to discuss the new instructions that are really important and that are in your favor. Right, next is expected date of exam. We are going to discuss that, as well as I'm going to tell you the 30-40 day strategy that you should have if you are a complete fresher, if you are planning to prepare from zero, or if you are studying from a while but you are not on track, then this video is going to help you if you want to clear SLAT. SLAT is the exam for Symbiosis, Pune, Hyderabad, Noida, and Nagpur. So yeah, let's get into this video. Yeah guys, welcome to Giri. I hope you're subscribed to Giri's YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so that you do not miss any of our videos. And I hope you're following us on Instagram. We're there by the name at I am Giri. We do pretty motivational stuff out there if you want to stay happy, if you want to stay motivated, and if you want to stay connected a little more with Giri, then do follow us on Instagram. Let's talk about marks distribution. So earlier they said that number of questions from each section are going to be, or from each subject are going to be 15 questions. But now they have changed the number of questions to 12. So logical reasoning 12, legal reasoning 12, analytical reasoning 12, reading comprehension 12, general knowledge 12. Total comes to 60. So 60 marks are going to be for your this MCQ type of questions, objective type of questions, right? They also have your written ability test. So written ability test is going to be for everyone who is going to take the SLAT exam, right? So yeah, this is the change that has taken place. Earlier 15 questions were to come from each section, but now every section is going to have just 12 questions, right? So the number of questions have been reduced. Check out the instructions. The duration of each test is going to be 90 minutes, 60 minutes for MCQs, and followed by 30 minutes for WAT. Now you need to understand, we know that there are going to be 60 questions. For 60 questions you get 60 minutes, right? Plus for your WAT, that is writing ability test, you're going to get 30 minutes. There is no negative marking for wrong answers. This is a very, very important instruction. That means you can attempt all the 60 questions. If you know the answer, then also, if you don't know the answer, then also you have to attempt all the 60 questions, because there is no negative marking. So you have to attempt all the 60 questions, right? Please keep this in your mind. All sections are mandatory. WAT for SLAT will be evaluated by respective institutes or programs. Okay, fine. आपके respective institutes आपके WAT select करेंगे, check करेंगे, right? Evaluate करेंगे. WAT scores will not be declared along with SLAT scorecard. तो SLAT scorecard में आपका सिर्फ आपके जो MCQ टाइप के क्वेश्चंस हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप जो टेस्ट है, उसके ही मार्क्स डिक्लेयर करे जाएंगे. तो यहाँ से हमें ये पता चलता है 60 मिनट्स का टाइम है हमारे पास, 30 मिनट्स हमारे पास हैं आपके WAT रिटन एबिलिटी टेस्ट के लिए, राइट? नो नेगेटिव मार्किंग, विच इज अ गुड थिंग. Important dates. So they are saying that the SLAT registration are going to close and the payment closes on 4th June 2021, Friday, right? So yeah, one more thing that you need to know is that it is going to be a home based test. That is, you're going to be at your home, you're going to use your laptops, your desktops to give this test. So you are not going to visit the center as it was said when they rolled out their prospectus. So it is going to be a home based test, number one. So the next thing that you need to keep in mind is that I think they're just waiting for the 12th board's decision, that will the exams happen, if they are going to happen, when they're going to happen, so that the dates don't clash. And so whatever happens with your board exams is going to decide the date of this exam also. But whenever they get a chance, they're going to take the exam. So be prepared for this exam, because last year also in 2020, if you do not know, SLAT 2020 was a home based test, while your CLAT was not a home based test. All other exams mostly took place by going to the center. Might have been the case wherein it was not a pen paper exam, the other exams, but you had to go to a center and give the exam. You would not able to sit at home and give the exam, right? But SLAT was a home based test in 2020 also. So whenever they get a chance, they're going to take the exam. So be prepared for SLAT, right? So that is what I'm trying to say, that by end of June or in the beginning of July, they should take the exam, right? Also depends on your 12th board's decision, that when the 12th board is going to happen, right? Your entrance test score is scaled down to 50 marks, though they are going to be 60 questions, but yeah, 50 it is going to be scaled down to 50 marks. So yeah, your PI personal interview is of 30 marks, and your written ability test is of 20 marks. So 50, 30 and 20 total comes to 100. This is there for Pune, Hyderabad, Noida, Nagpur, right? All of these SLATs. Discuss a subject wise strategy, right, to legal aptitude. Indian Constitution is number one topic, which is really important. You need to cover it really nicely. Criminal law, torts, and contracts are the other three topics. Now, you need to understand that in SLAT, there are two types of questions that are asked. One is fact and principle based question. If you are new to law entrance exams and you do not know what are fact and principle based questions, I've done a detailed video. I've told you what are these questions, how to solve. So that is going to act as a guide for you guys. Right now, legal GK questions are your normal MCQ type of questions from law related topics, right? MCQ type questions from law related topics are what are legal GK, what is legal GK type of questions. Now both of these type of questions are going to come from these topics only, right? If you don't know, we have a course related to Indian Constitution. You can enroll for that. The details are going to be in the description box below. Number one. Number two, which book you should use for Indian Constitution, criminal law, torts, contracts, and for covering fact and principle based question and legal GKs. You can go for Universal's book. You can go for Universal's book. The link is going to be in the description box below. If you have Arihant's self guide for CLAT, I need to tell you that that book would also do, but the problem is that that book is not having questions related to criminal law, torts, contracts, the legal GK type of questions. So you need to study your theory really nicely if you're going for Arihant's book. But if you're going for Universals, then you'll find that there are around 600 to 700 questions that are related to legal GK. So that will help you in practicing your legal GK based questions. Now, how to study this subject? I hope the books are clear. You can go for Universals or Arihant. If you're having AP Bharadwaj or if you're having Willis, then that book would also do. But remember, you need to practice your legal GK type of questions from Universal, because that is the book that is having around 500 to 1000 questions related to legal GK. Now, how to study? You have to read the theory part first. You have to read the theory, right? You have to understand the theory, you have to read the theory, and please mark the theory so that you can revise again and again so that you remember. After doing that, after reading and marking, the number two step should be that you solve MCQs related to the topics. Both type of questions need to be solved, your legal GK as well as fact and principle based questions. Solving MCQs is important because we get to know what is important in a topic. What is important? Number one, there are chances that you are learning something else while important is something else. If we solve MCQs, that mistake is not going to happen. The next thing is, when you solve MCQs, you practice, and the mistakes, you get confused that what is the answer. If A is the answer or B is the answer, you get confused, you commit mistakes. Now when you do so, you do it, you are practicing. When you practice and make mistakes, you commit them there and then, and you do not commit these mistakes in the exams, right? So practicing is very important. If you want to score well, you need to practice. Just reading the theory is not going to help you, but yes, if you solve your MCQ type of questions, if you practice your fact and principle based questions, then only you can expect that you will attempt the questions correctly in your exam. The other things that you need to read about is the recent important decisions as well as the landmark judgments. Law related current affairs need to be covered, right? And also you need to know about the important commissions and the committees. I have done a video related to that you can watch, and your commissions and your landmark judgments would be covered. Your recent judgments can be covered in a series that I've started related to wherein I'm covering legal news and judgments. You can cover from that. Let's talk about logical reasoning. So the most important topics are circular arrangement, selection based puzzle, analogy, direction sense test, blood relations, and series. These topics should be the first ones that you should solve. Now, the book that I'll recommend is not Universals, if you are having Arihant has some good like explanations to these topics. So if you are studying from Arihant's book, then you might skip R.S. Agarwal, but I would say that you should buy Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal, Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal if you have universals, or if you want to do these topics, nicely, you want to solve a good number of questions, then Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal is a book that you should buy. And the other topics, now the first ones are going to be the ones that are underlined and that are in bold from this book, Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning. And also one tip that I want to give you is that if you want like good explanations of these topics, like that of blood relations, like that of series, then you can go for MK Pandey. Just understanding the explanation, just reading the explanation and understanding how to solve and what to solve, right, from MK Pandey, but solving the questions from Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning for all of these topics, right? Okay, fine, understanding. The next thing that you have to do is, the other tip that I want to give you, since we are less on time, we do not have a lot of time, what you should do is, you don't need to solve each and every question from R.S. Agarwal. You have to solve each and every example from this book, but you can solve random questions from every exercise given in R.S. Agarwal. Now, related to analogy is a very big chapter in R.S. Agarwal, so you just need to understand the concept. And if you're not able to understand the concept, or if you want short notes related to analogy, I've uploaded them on www.loggery.com. You can check that out, and even for questions you can check our website out. The link will be in the description box below. I hope you're getting that. I know the chapters are very big, the book is bulky. Number one, you have to just solve the topics that are given here, first solving the topics that are underlined, are in bold, and then the other ones, right? Number two, you're going to solve all the examples, but you are going to, from the exercises, you're going to solve, like you say that, okay, I'll solve odd one out, questions having odd numbers or questions having even numbers, right? You can do like that. You don't need to solve the entire exercises because they are bulky. They are very, very big exercises and it is going to take time. Since we are less on time, we can do this. Now, the next topics are your critical reasoning related topics, like that of strong and weak argument, statement, assumption, inference. All of these topics you can solve from, or you can, understand from MK Pandey. Look, if you are completely dependent on self-study and you are not understanding from MK Pandey, then you can go for Willy's book. Right, you can go for Willy's book. Otherwise, MK Pandey should be the thing. You can solve the questions from MK Pandey. So the question type is what is there in MK Pandey in your SLAT exam. But if you're not able to understand these topics, then you can go for Willy's book. The link is going to be in the description box below. If you're going for Willy's book, you're going to just read the explanation from Willy's book, but you're going to solve the questions from MK Pandey. For which type of questions? From these ones, MK Pandey, these ones, Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal. Though these topics are going to be there in Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal also, but you're not going to solve them from Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal. Clear? Let's talk about maths. Now, maths is not a separate section, but yeah, there are questions from maths in your exam. You need to solve profit and loss, percentage, ratio and proportion, average, age, time and work, simple interest, circles. If you are having Universals book or Arihant, you can solve these questions from there itself, right? Your Universals or Arihant. But if you are having 18 Days Wonder by Chan, you can solve from that also. Let's talk about English. English, you have reading comprehension. The question type is vocabulary and inference based. I've done a video wherein I have explained that how you should solve different types of questions related to reading comprehension. You can go through that video. Is going to help you out a lot. For practice, you can practice from Universals, you can practice from Arihant, whichever book you have related to reading comprehension, you can practice from there. Right. General knowledge can be divided into two parts. One is your current affairs and the other is your static GK. Now, if we analyze the previous year question papers, very less static GK questions are there. More of current affair questions are there. You need to cover your science and technology news, national and international awards, international organization, national news, famous personality, government news, government schemes, defense, and also legal news. Now, the duration of the news that you should cover is somewhat from duration of the news that you need to cover for this exam is somewhat from June, July 2020 till now. Now, how to cover is for 2020, you can go for compendiums, or what we call annual editions, or what we call yearbooks. You can go for any. I have reviewed 4 to 5, I suppose. You can go for that. One of the most recommended if you are less on time is Tits Bits annual edition. You can go for that. Plus also their monthly edition. You'll get to know what is important. They have covered pretty much everything. I'll leave the link in the description box. So June and July, you can cover your 2020 news from your annual editions or annual compendiums. For 2021, what you need to do is you can go for either monthly compendiums, or if there are 6 months, 6 months ka news, the magazines that cover 6 months news, you can go for that. Again, Tits Bits is what I'll suggest since you are less on time. It covers your important topics. But for SLAT, I would advise that you start reading newspaper. It is very important, because if you have to do well when it comes to your written ability test, you have to read the newspaper. You need to know what is going on. You need to have an opinion if you really want to do well. So start reading the newspaper from now on itself. Cover your previous month's news from current monthly GK magazines. You can go for Tits Bits, or you can go for Pratyogata Darpan. If you're new to news world, you don't really know anything, then start reading newspaper and start covering your news from Tits Bits. That is what I'll advise. If you really want to cover your static GK, if you have some more time, then you can cover your geography books and others, science and history. For this, I'll say just solve important MCQ type of questions from Universals or Arihant's book, whichever you are having. Just solve the important questions. Studying Lewson's or Pearson's book at this point of time is not at all advisable, because you won't be able to get what is important, and it is going to take a lot of time. Just solving the important questions is what I'm going to advise. Many of you have questions that which are the important WAT topics that we should practice, how we should practice, and everything of that sort. If you want to know how to practice, I've done a detailed video related to WAT, which you should watch. Though I've written that it is for 3-year Symbiosis law entrance exam, but it is going to work for you guys also. It is a detailed video wherein I've discussed what you should do, which are the books that you should buy. So buy a good essay book and practice from that, right? I'll leave the link in the description box. Now, the important topics, the topics are there on Logiri's website. So if you visit www.logiri.com, and if you click on SLAT, we have 5-year law entrance exam, and then you'll find SLAT. If you click on SLAT, you're going to find this article wherein we discuss important WAT topics. We have given a list, right? And we keep on adding topics to that list, whichever we feel the topic is important, right? So yeah, please bookmark that article. Link will be in the description box below. Now, how to practice, or how to, whenever I say that you have to write an essay, you need two things. One is the material, and other is you need to know how to write. And for knowing how to write, you need to practice. Right now, we are going to discuss how to get the material first, because if you know the material, then only you will be able to put it in a format that pleases the examiner. Now, we need to read newspaper and editorials. Editorials are very important. We need to read newspaper because mostly the topics are related to the current issues. It can be a legal issue or social issue, right? For example, overcrowding of jails. Our children who are orphans because of this second COVID wave, both the parents have died, right? This is an issue. This is a social issue. And what are the laws related to that? That you need to know. And there have been so many articles, editorials recently that are there. So reading newspaper and the editorials is very important. You need to know what is going on, news related to the current issues and the current social issues as well as legal issues, right? Preferably read the Hindu or the Indian Express. For legal news, you can also watch our videos. We do weekly legal news and legal judgments roundups. If you watch those videos, that will cover your legal affairs, current affairs part completely. So yeah, you should pick up your lines, you should copy lines from these editorials, words, idioms, observe how things have been written. Now, how one person, the writer is changing the paragraph, how the person has discussed certain things, how what is the introduction of the editorial, right? All of these things you need to observe and learn. On connecting words, you should learn how to connect paragraphs. Your essay should be in such a manner that the person who is checking your writing ability test should be attracted, should want to read more and more, right? So that way you need to write, you need to make it interesting, you need to make sure that there are no grammatical mistakes. You need to type on your laptop. You need to make sure that there are no grammatical mistakes. You should not be committing mistakes. So you need to type on your laptop. You can use Grammarly. You can use Grammarly to check if you have committed any mistake, and you should analyze the essay and make sure that you do not commit that grammatical mistake again. So now I'll say that you should buy any essay book. It can be any, there are certain books like selected essay की book आती है. You can buy that and you can practice those. Now what you need to do is you need to pick up the essay, the same topic as is given in your essay book, and you need to write about related to that essay yourself, and then you need to compare. Right, then you need to compare and you need to make sure that you learn everything from writing introduction, heading. So you need to start with your introduction, then you need to give your heading, and then also you need to give a conclusion. You need to give a conclusion. If you want that I should do another very detailed video related to WAT, I've done one already. If you want another one, I can do it. Leave a comment in the description, in the comment section. How to prepare? Now, complete the important topics first. You know, you need to complete the important topics first. There is no important section. So whichever section you think is easy for you, complete that first. And also please complete the important topics first from each subject. Create a plan. You have 30 to 40 days. You need to create a plan that okay, on this particular day I'll be studying this particular topic, and these are the pages. From this page till this page I need to cover. On this day I need to practice. You need to create a plan. I've done a detailed video wherein I've discussed that how you can create the plan. Study every day, right? Give 2 to 3 hours. Give maximum time to this exam, right? If you are just aiming for SLAT, then give 4 to 5 hours just to SLAT. But if you are, say, if you are preparing for CLAT, if you are preparing for AILT, and you are also preparing for SLAT, then you will see that most of the syllabus is common, right? Your reading comprehensions are common, your legal aptitude part is common. You just have to study the legal GK questions or solve the legal GK questions extra for SLAT. So the syllabus is common, so you just need to cover the topics that are not covered in CLAT and AILT. You don't really need to study much extra for these exams because the topics are almost the same, right? You need to study every day. Fix the time. You need to have a study slot that okay, fine, from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock I'll give to CLAT or SLAT, right? Whatever. You need to fix the time for your 5-year law preparation. How to study each and every topic. Now, number one step is that you have this A topic, any XYZ topic that you are studying. You need to first read. You need to read. While reading, you need to understand, and you also need to mark. You need to understand and you need to mark, because later on we are going to revise. Right? So your first reading is very important, because in your first reading you're going to understand the topic and you're going to mark. Once you're done with this, what you need to do is solve or practice questions. You need to solve or practice questions, basically your MCQs. Again, very important. I've told you the important things about MCQs, that you get to know what is important. We get to know important, and we make mistakes that we are not going to commit in the exam. If we do not practice, then these mistakes are going to be in the exam. Your answer is going to be incorrect, right? So this is what you need to do. And the next step is, step 2 is, once you have done your first reading and everything, you have to revise your topics again and again. After every 5 to 6 days, you're going to go through the topics that you have done earlier, so that you revise, so that you retain. So that you remember. So that is how you need to do it. Now when you are revising, you just have to study what you have marked, and when you're solving questions, make sure that whichever question you have attempted wrong, or whichever question you think is difficult, you mark that, so that at the time of revision you solve these questions, right? Also find tests related to various sections, various topics on our website www.lawgiri.com. Stages of preparation are: stage 1 is completing the syllabus, right? Completing the syllabus is obviously understanding, marking, revising, practice, right? All of this stuff. Whereas stage 2 should be technically, it should be wherein you revise plus you attempt mock tests, plus you attempt mock tests. And also previous year question papers are provided on our website, SLAT previous year questions. You can check them out on our website www.loggery.com. full length test से क्या होगा, आपको time management करना आएगा, आपको time management करना आएगा. You learn how to manage time. You learn that how you can solve 60 questions in 60 minutes. You learn how to solve 60 questions in 60 minutes, right? So this is important practice. So whenever you're planning, you are going to say you have 40 days, you're going to say, okay, fine, 25 to 30 days to complete. The last 40 days I'm going to revise everything and I'm going to attempt mock tests. Very important, right? And also you're going to practice your essays and everything. Any help that you need related to SLAT, you can, comment down below in the comment section. We are going to read it and we are going to try to help you guys in whatever way we can. Also, please keep on visiting our website because we keep on uploading stuff related to SLAT. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then please do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification on so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And also do comment down below that was the video helpful or not. Loggery signing off. I'll see you super soon. Till then, stay happy, keep on studying and stay blessed. Stay safe too. Bye.